All right, class. So today we're gonna add a ghost at the second level. So first level is a zombie, second level is a ghost, and the ghost is gonna attack our girl. Okay, so first we're going to move our first person controller to here, to the second stage. All right, and then we're going to duplicate the girl. So right now she's in the cage, so we're gonna make a duplication just for testing purpose. So here we're gonna say testing, okay? And I'm gonna hide the original one. And for the duplicate one, for testing purpose, we're gonna also move it to the second stage. Okay, and let's just move it away from the player. And also let's disable the zombie character, so she will not allowing us. Okay, so select the zombie character and disable it. Alright, so once you have set everything, let's bring in the ghost model. Alright, so here let's drop in the model and let's compare the size. So by default it may be a little bit small, so I would try about 1.5 XYZ. Okay, and let's create a material for it. So here let's say ghost M for material and assign the texture to it and apply the texture. So this is how the ghost looks. Doesn't look great. So if you check the original texture map, you're gonna see the ghost texture is a PNG image, so that means the background is transparent. Okay, so here we can go back to the material and just change the rendering mode to cutout. Okay, or transparent, and play with the settings to get the best result. Okay, you can do that. But here I'm going to use a customized shader. So we're going to import a material and you will find it here. Okay, so let's go back to the files I provided and let's go to the script folder. Let's just bring the whole thing in here. Alright, once it's imported, you should see the double-sided material, the shader, which is this one. Okay, so basically, after you import it here, and then you select the material you just created, and you should find an option under customer. The custom option, you should find the double-sided shader. So just use that. I think we used this in the car racing demo earlier, so I provided this one earlier. Okay, so here the only one thing I'm gonna change is the render queue. I'm gonna change it to transparent. So here we go. So you're gonna display the double-sided mesh, so you will still able to see the ghost from the opposite side. So that's the material 4. Okay, then let's assign a script to it. So go to the ghost script folder and let's assign a ghost chasing script. Okay, so if I show you the script, so basically the ghost chasing script is you're going to find a object that tag with a girl. Okay, an object has a tag that is a girl, and then you're gonna get its component, which is navigation mesh agent. Okay, and then the ghost they're gonna set is destination to the target, which is girl. The target is destination. So that way the ghost will keep following the girl. Okay, so here we need to create the two things. First is tag the girl. Second is add a navigation mesh agent to the ghost. Okay, so let's do it one by one. So let's select the ghost first and add a component and search for navigation mesh agent. So here we go. So we're going to define a number, the distance we want it to stop. So we're going to put a 1.5 meters away from the girl, so we're going to stop, or maybe just a 1 meters away. And moving speed, we're going to just keep it as a default 3.5. And if you recall, the girl's navigation mesh agent, we net it to the speed to be 2. So basically the girl runs slower than the ghost. So the ghost will be able to catch up the girl and attack her, even if she's running. Okay, so in the script, the second thing we need to change is we need to add a tag to our target, which is the girl, right? We need to tag her to a girl tag. Okay, so here I already added one, so let me give it as untagged. Okay, and then let me show you how to create the tag. So you're gonna go to the add tag menu, and here you're going to add a tag, and here we're going to see girl. So make sure you caps lock G. Okay, so that is a tag reference in the script. Okay, so once you add that, you need to assign the tag to the testing girl, and also don't forget to also assign it to the original girl, because this is the original one. All right, so I'm going to select both of these and change the tag to the girl. Okay, so now the ghost will be able to find the girl object because it is tagged as a girl, and the ghost will set its destination as a girl's destination. Okay, next we're gonna also give a health point to the ghost. Okay, so we'll be able to shoot him. So we're going to bring him a little bit away from the girl. And then we're going to right click on it and create a 3D object, a cube. So we're going to use this cube as its health trigger. Ghost health. Okay, and let's make it a smaller. And let's check on its trigger. So this is going to be the trigger, and let's go to the script and assign the ghost health script onto it. So here we go. All right, so now let's just assign all the variables. So first is the ghost, okay, and then its trigger is a self. And then the rest of few variables is the chasing sound, so it's a normal sound, and then is the death sound. So if we kill him, you're gonna play another sound. Okay, so we're gonna create one by one. So first, let's right click on the ghost as well, create an empty, and we're gonna see ghost chasing sound, and we're going to go back to the ghost folder and find the ghost chasing sound, assign it. Here, let's check on play on wake. So the ghost will play the chasing sound when it's activated. And let's check on loop. So the sound will keep looping. And let's make it as a 3D sound. And keep the default rule of method. Okay, so then we're going to make a duplication. And we're going to see this one as ghost death sound. And we're going to replace the soundtrack and check off play on wake, because the death sound will be played on called once he's dead. You're going to play that, and we will not loop it and keep it as a 3D sound and keep the default rule off. Okay, and let's assign the audio track here. So the first one is the chasing sound, Second one is the death sound. And then is the weapon. So we want our ghost to be able to hurt our the girl, right? So we're gonna create a weapon for it. It's gonna be very simple. So basically we're gonna right click on the ghost and create a new 3D object, a cube, make it longer. Something like that. Yeah. Okay, so for this one, we're gonna keep the box collider on, and we're gonna change the tag as enemy. So as you know, whenever an enemy object entered the girl's health trigger, you're gonna deduct the girl's health point. Okay, and I'm gonna also rename this object as ghost weapon. And here we're gonna just add one more thing. We're gonna add a ring body. So if you just search ring body, you should find it. So add that one. And I want to check off use gravity so it will not fall off. And also check on is kinematic. So you're gonna stay in place. Okay. So with the ring body, it will allows the object to interact with other triggers. Okay, so that's all we need to set. And don't forget to turn off the mesh render for the weapon. And then let's go back to trigger ghost health and assign the ghost weapon to here. And here's the ghost health script. Okay, so whenever, let me get more space here. Okay, so whenever we start the game, so first we have a game object, which is a girl health trigger. So what is the girl health trigger? As you can see here, I didn't put a public, so we cannot assign the variable there. So we're going to, when we start the game, you're gonna look a object that has a name. The name is trigger girl health. Okay, so you just need to make sure that the girls under the girls folder, the girls health trigger is exactly matching the script's name here. The name is referenced in the script. Otherwise, your script will not be able to locate this trigger. So if you prefer a different name, just make sure you revisit the script and change the name. Okay, so you're gonna find the trigger, which name is trigger girl health. So this object girl health trigger equals that object. Okay, so what we're gonna do is whenever the boolnet object enters the ghost health trigger, okay, the girl's health trigger, you're gonna get this component which is girl's health script, and you're going to disable in ghost attacking range. That's because whenever the boolnet hits the ghost health trigger, right, you're gonna kill the ghost. So once the ghost being killed, it's not in the attack range on the girl. So the girl will not be attacked anymore. So definitely we're gonna check off in ghost attack range by checking that. So here the girl's health script. Okay, so by checking off in ghost attack range, okay, so the girl hurt sequence, it will not be played because to hurt the girl you need to match two conditions. One is in ghost attack range, and then it's not currently attacking the girl, and then you're going to hurt the girl, right? So that's the context. So basically you're gonna access the girl health script and change the boolnet in attack range as false. Okay, and as the boolnet hit the ghost health trigger, so you're going to deactivate the box collider of this trigger, so this trigger will not work anymore. You're going to also disable the ghost weapon, so the ghost will not be able to hurt the player or the girl anymore. And you're going to start this quarantine ghost death sequence, which is the ghost weapon. You're going to be deactivated, and you're going to play the ghost death sound. And you're gonna stop the ghost chasing sound. And you're gonna access the ghost chasing script, and you're gonna deactivate it so the ghost will not be able to chase the girl anymore. You can also access the ghost navigation mesh agent and stop it immediately. And you're gonna wait for 3 seconds, then you're gonna disable the ghost model. And then I'm gonna go back to first person controller and enable the testing gun. Remember, this is the gun I duplicated from the gun hand folder just for testing purpose. Okay, so I made this in the previous lesson. So now let's do a test. So with the testing gun, we will be able to shoot the ghost. Okay, so here by default, you should hear the ghost sound, and it will hurt our player and also the girl, and we can shoot the ghost, and now it'll destroy it. Okay, works perfect. So now the next step is we don't just want one of it, we want a lot of it. So we want it to spawn from a location. So here we're going to let's see, we're going to go back to the models folder, and I want you to bring in the coffin. Okay, so bring that in, and here we go. So so here, as you can see, we have 2 of them. So what it's gonna do is the first one is just one mesh. It's a united piece, and the coffin exploded. Basically, I separated the pieces, as you can see, and then later on I'm going to make it explode. Okay, once we shoot it, it's gonna explode. Okay, so first let's bring in the coffin in the scene, and let's make it bigger. So let's try 1.6, should be a good size. Okay, and change the size of it. Change the size and rotation, and make sure it's above the ground so it will not fall through it. Okay, so this is a good location. So now let's create a material for it. So here let's create a material, say coffin M, and get a texture map for it and assign it. So here we go. Okay, so now we will need the second one, which is the coffin exploded. Okay, so let's how can we get it in the same location, same location? I can just go back to the original one and click on this button. Let me shrink the window so you can see it. Click on this button, so it will allow you to copy the world transform. So you're gonna copy the whole transform channel. Okay, and then go to the coffin exploded. Click on this button again. Paste world transform. So you're gonna paste all of the value here. Okay, so now you should see that they will overlap. The only reason why this one is a little bit off is because, see, their pivot point is different. So that's one thing I did in Maya. You know, I accidentally changed the second version's pivot point, so that's why they're not perfectly aligned. All you have to do is just select the coffin exploded, just move it down. It don't have to be perfectly match. Okay, just roughly the same location, it will be fine. And also make sure they are above the ground. Okay, and then I want you to go to the coffin exploded, select all the child object. Okay, and then drag the material onto it. Oops. Yeah, so this is gonna assign the material to all of the child object, which are the pieces. See, those individual pieces. And then I want you to select all of the individual pieces again. Okay, and I want you to add two objects. One is mesh collider. Okay, and check on convex. And then I want you to add a ringing body. And for the ringing body, I want you to keep use gravity on, so you're gonna fall when it's activated. And check off is kinematic, so you're gonna move. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna use a script to control this. So whenever we shoot the coffin, before we shoot it, you're gonna show this one. You're gonna hide the exploded one. Whenever we shoot it, you're gonna show the exploded one and hide the original one. Okay, so with the exploded one, let me show you what's gonna happen. If I just start the game, and if I pause, okay, if I pause, you're gonna see that it's already collapsed. Okay, so whenever you start the game, whenever it is activated, because it got gravity, so each piece is gonna fall to the ground. Okay, so that's it. All right, so now we want to select the coffin, hit F key to focus your view on it. So now we want to create something. Let's see. We want to create a empty object. So this one we're gonna say spawn group. So this is gonna just be a placeholder. You're gonna hold all of the individual components for spawn the enemy character. Okay, so first we're going to bring the coffin models into this folder. Second, we're going to right click on the spawn group and we're going to create a 3D object, a cube. So this cube, we're going to name it as trigger spawn. And let's make it bigger, just enough to cover where the coffin is located. And before I move forward, I think I forgot one thing. So we have added the mesh collider and ring body to all of the individual pieces here for coffin exploded, right? But we forgot to add something for the coffin. For the original coffin, I want to also add a mesh collider. And that's it. Don't add the ring body to the original one because we don't want this one to fall. Okay, we just want it to stay in place. So only we add a mesh collider to it and check on the convex. Now we're gonna hide. Yeah, actually, we're gonna turn the original one on and hide the exploded one. Okay, so we're gonna show the trigger spawn. So this is gonna be the trigger to spawn the character. So we're going to check on its trigger and check off mesh render. And here we're going to bring in script. So we're going to go, well, just stay in coffin folder and drop the spawn folder directly in here so we can keep everything organized. And once the script is fully loaded, okay, we're going to assign the enemy spawn script. Oops, it's still loading. So once it's fully loaded, we're going to assign the enemy spawn script onto the trigger spawn. So here we go. Okay, so now we just have to assign each individual variables. So first is a prefab to spawn. Okay, so here I'm gonna explain. Actually, we'll do this first. So what is a prefab to spawn? So basically, with this trigger, you're gonna keep spawn the ghost character, right? So we have to create a prefab. So how to do it? We're gonna go back to the models folder and ghost models folder. So here, the one we just created earlier is not a prefab. Okay, so let's change this name convention first so we know what we have created. So this one, which I just put a ghost spawn as the name, and then drag this whole group into the ghost model folder. So it's gonna create the prefab for you. So what is a prefab? So basically the prefab, see if I double click on that. So prefab includes all of the individual elements we have created earlier. For example, the trigger ghost health. It also attached the script we assigned and also variables. And also it includes the sound we have created for it. So basically it's a game ready folder. Okay, so now we are done with it. You can either delete it or hide it, but here I'm gonna just hide it. Maybe I'm gonna use it later. So here I'm gonna hide it for now, and then go back to the trigger spawn, the trigger. Okay, and first one is a prefab to spawn, so it's going to be that one. Okay. Oh, sorry, got the wrong one. So prefab to spawn, and then spawn location. Spawn location gonna be itself the trigger spawn. Okay, so you're gonna spawn from this location, and then spawn destroyed sound and spawn enemy spawn sound. So let's create that. So let's just right click on the spawn group. So here I'm gonna say enemy spawn sound, and it's under, yeah, it's under here. So enemy spawn sound, and we're going to check off play on weak and check off loop and make it a 3D sound. So the enemy spawn sound gonna be called, you're gonna be play when it is being called. So I'm gonna show you in the script later. Okay, so let's make a duplication, and this one I'm gonna say spawn destroyed sound. Okay, and I'm gonna replace the audio, and also don't check on play on weak and loop, and make it a 3D sound. Now if we select the trigger spawn, and we'll be able to assign these two variables. Then here I just add two variables for our coffin that we just created. Okay, so we're gonna just assign, first is the original coffin, and then is exploded one, and then is this trigger itself. Okay, so once you have all of this, so let me double check for sure. So make sure the original ghost is hidden, so it's not in the scene. So all of the ghosts that gonna appear, it's gonna appear from here. So it's gonna spawn from here, and as soon as it spawn, it's gonna attack the girl. So let's test play, see how it looks. Okay, so here we go. So I'll kill it, and I'm gonna spawn another one, and see here. Every time with the spawn, you're gonna play the spawn sound, right? So now if I just shoot this coffin, if I shoot this coffin, it's gonna collapse, and it won't spawn any ghosts anymore. Okay, so that's the whole function. So let me show you the script. Oh, here. Okay, so basically, yeah, so basically every time you're gonna every 6 seconds you're gonna spawn a enemy. How it works is first we set the spawn rate as a 6. You can change this number. Whenever our current game time is bigger than or equal to the next spawn time, you're going to run this spawn function. Okay, so what is the next spawn time? So let's say we just started the game, so our current time is 0, right? So the next spawn time is 0 plus the respawn rate, which is 6, so it equals to 6. So our current time is 0 and next spawn time is 6 seconds. And once our current time reaches 6 seconds, so now it's equal to 6, right? So you're gonna run this, you're gonna spawn the character. And then also you're gonna change, you're gonna update our next spawn time by our current time, which is 6 seconds plus 6, so you're gonna be 12. So you're gonna update our next spawn time to 12. So that way, every 6 seconds, you're going to run the spawn function here. So the spawn function, first you're gonna play the enemy spawn sound, and then you're going to make a spawn clone. So we're going to initiate the prefab to spawn, which is the prefab here, which is the prefab we just assigned. So you're gonna clone a prefab, and where you're gonna place the location is gonna be the location we assigned. Okay, and here's a void update. So whenever an object enter this trigger and the object's tagged as boolean, so you're gonna play this function. So first, you're gonna play the spawn destroyed sound, and you're gonna stop the enemy spawn sound. And you're gonna disable the original coffin, which is the United piece, and you're going to activate the coffin exploded. And because that model has all the different pieces, and each piece has a gravity, so you're gonna fall. And in the end, you're gonna disable this trigger, which is the spawn clone trigger, the enemy spawn trigger. Alright, so now the ghost will be able to attack our girl, right? But what about the old lady? So if we take a look at the old lady, currently the old lady is able to attack the player because he got a weapon object, which is this one. Which is let me just search here. Okay, so the zombie can use this cube to attack the player, hurt the player, but it won't work on the girl for now. So all we have to do is we need to add a ring body. If you haven't do so, just add a ring body and make sure the use gravity is checked off and check on is kinematic. That's it. So now you should be able to hurt the girl as well. Okay, and then let's go back to the girl model. So there's one thing I want to change. So now you can see that the girl is really glossy. It doesn't look like a real human character. So that is because it's material. So if I go back to the girls folder, girl models folder, and revisit this material. Okay, so all we have to do is scroll down and check off specular highlights, check off reflections. Okay, so that will make the light on the girl more realistic. See, if I show you the lights, if I just change the rotation of the lights so we can see some good lighting on the character. See, now the lighting looks more realistic. Okay, so now we are done with the girl here, and we can simply just get rid of it and show the original girl, the girl in the cage. Okay, so here we go. So now the ghost is going to chase this girl. Okay, next step we have to do is whenever the ghost appear, we want the girl to see something. She's like, okay, they're coming and they're everywhere, something like that. Right here, let's select the girl character. Let's create more audio. So trigger the girl dialogue. Yeah, girl dialogue, and we're going to duplicate one of them, and let's rename it. So this is gonna be girl see ghost clip 1. Okay, so we're gonna replace the audio, so it's gonna be let's find it. So meet ghost. So here we go. Okay, so audio girl see ghost clip 1 is gonna be the girl saying, oh, they are everywhere, something like that, and keep the rest set as a default. And then let's make a duplication. So this is gonna be second clip. So the second clip, the audio gonna be the girls crying, saying, oh my god, they are everywhere. Okay, so these are the 2 audio clips, so they're gonna be called when the ghost is showing up. Okay, so now let's go back to where first person controller is located, and this is where the ghost is gonna appear. Okay, so first I want to create a cube. So this cube, I'm gonna say trigger. Let's see, trigger. What should we say? Trigger activate spawn. Okay, so by default, this coffin won't spawn any ghost. So whenever we stab into some this random trigger, so you're going to activate it. Okay, so here you can see trigger activate spawn or trigger awake spawn. So either way, it makes sense. Okay, so we're going to bring this trigger to here in the turtle. So whenever our player or girl stab in here, okay, you're gonna play the sound. So here, let's just make it bigger so our player will never miss it. Okay, so then let's change this box collider as is trigger. Okay, so now we're gonna go to the coffin folder, spawn folder, and we're going to bring in the awake spawn script onto the trigger. So what this script does is, whenever the player, the object tag as a player or it tag as a bullet, enters the trigger, you're going to enable the enemy spawn trigger, which is the trigger on the coffin. So you're going to spawn the ghost character. You're going to also turn off this trigger. So that's it. Alright, so we just have to assign the variable here. So first is enemy spawn trigger. So that is the trigger spawn under the spawn group. And then its trigger is itself. Okay, and here we also want our girl to talk something as she see the ghost is coming. So we can simply just duplicate this trigger, remove the components, okay, and I'm gonna change the name. I'm gonna just copy it from there, and here I'm gonna change trigger girl see ghost clip 1. Okay, and for the script here, we're going to go back to the girls folder and girl script. So that is the dialog girl sees enemy. So let's just drop the code to here. Okay, and for the variables, let me show you. So we can go back to the girl sees zombie script and just copy the components. Go back to girl see ghost script and paste as values. Okay, so here the only thing we have to change is first this trigger is itself. And then the dialog, the girl, when the girl sees the ghost, will be will be here. Audio girl see ghost clip 1. Okay, then don't forget to turn off mesh render for both these two orders. And then I'm gonna select the girl see ghost script and make a duplication and place it around the entrance. Because this time either the ghost or the player enter this trigger, it gonna get our girl to see the second sentence. So this is gonna be the trigger girl sees ghost clip 2. Okay, on clip 2, here first the dialog, it's gonna be the second clip, right? And you can keep the rest of 3 as the same as default, and this trigger is gonna be itself. I'm gonna just adjust the trigger's location just a little bit so they are not getting too close with each other. So the first one, I'm gonna place it at this entrance. Second one is there, yeah. Then I'm going to change the wake spawn trigger also to here. So what I can do is I select the girl see ghost clip 1 and copy. It's copying off, cut off. So copy is world transform, and then go to the trigger awake and here paste world transform. So you're gonna paste all the value here. So now you can see they have been aligned here. So now I'm gonna do a full test. Okay, so now I just pick the girl up from the cage and she's catch me up, and we're at the corner of this tunnel.
Don't leave me alone. They're here.
So now if I walk in here,
They're here.
you can see that she's talking.
Don't leave me alone. Don't leave me alone. Don't leave me alone. Don't leave me alone. Don't leave me alone.
Okay, so it works perfectly.